I wanted to follow up about Yevgeny Prigozhin. I wondered if you have had further conversations with him more recently and what the substance of those were. And whether, if he is still in Russia, do you see there any possibility of a rapprochement between Prigozhin and the Kremlin, or do you see ties there fundamentally severed?
Okay, we'll go step by step. We'll start with the last one in terms of rapprochement of Wagner and the government of the Russian Federation. The government of the Russian Federation has got nothing to do practically with PMC Wagner. It was created by structures that are related to weapons. So if you're talking about government as the heads of states, yes, then maybe. PMC Wagner was created by certain structures, and the connection with the military of the Russian Federation was generally done through GRU of the Russian Federation between the PMC Wagner, and I don't think that there would be any problems in Wagner working for the interests of Russia. Otherwise, why spend so much time with them now? Losing such a unit now, of course, there are many questions and some people died as well. But losing such a unit is not permissible. And moreover, losing fighters within such a unit. There are so many heroes of Russia. These are guys who, who are examples for both for our army, for your army. These are the issues. These are the questions for the government of the Russian Federation and Vladimir Putin. And of course, we will discuss this because we got involved in resolving this situation. And we got involved in the aspects of further functioning of this PMC. And this problem will be resolved in the future. When you ask this question again, I thought maybe it's better for me to invite Prigozhin here so that you could see him and speak to him. We met with him. We met with him here in Belarus. We haven't met with him anywhere outside of Belarus, in fact. So we discussed the situation, what happened, how it could have developed, and we discussed how it will develop in the future. So these are the main points.
Thank you. I just wondered, because you've also had conversations with the Russian president on the Saturday as the march was going towards Moscow, and presumably since, and President Putin called Prigozhin a traitor and that this was an act of treason. It's therefore surprising that he should be a free man in Russia now. I wondered what your views on that were, and again, whether you think that there is, whether President Putin could become more, I don't know, lenient towards him? Is there a possibility? They know each other. Will they re-establish relations, or is it fundamentally severed?
On this subject, whether the connection is severed or not, about the prospects and what is going to happen, this is something that we will discuss with them when we meet them. I'm not going to impose my point of view. I don't know everything, and I don't want to know everything as far as relationships between Putin and Prigozhin go. But I know that Putin knows Prigozhin much better than I do. I just saw him being involved in the organization of certain events, maybe 20 years ago for the first time. Putin has known him for a much longer period of time, since St. Petersburg, when they lived there and worked there. So he's known them for 30 years. And these are long-standing relationships. And these are more than good relationships. Prigozhin is free for sure, and at this moment too, he is free. I've spoken with him many times. I think yesterday afternoon I talked to him on the phone, and we discussed what PMC Wagner was going to do next. He told me one thing: we will work in the name of Russia, for the benefit of Russia, and we will be fighting, fulfilling our duty until the end, as will be agreed by appropriate authorities. So he's free. What is going to happen to him next, I don't know. But if you think that Putin is so malicious and vindictive and that he will, to say in plain Russian, whack him somewhere tomorrow, no, this will not happen. This will not happen. Why do we keep coming back to Prigozhin? I will say it again. There are 16 or 18 or even maybe 20 heroes of Russia. And how many orders and medals were awarded to them? I can't even count. And this is not because they were Prigozhinites, but because they fought for real. And before that, and even now, they are fighting all over the world, defending the democracy and independence of certain countries, where France or United States would like to bring someone to their knees. This is no secret. And you know this as well as I do in the UK, but at least people in MI6 are well aware of it. So to ruin such a unit, I think it would be wrong. I expressed this point of view to President Putin as well, but he understands who they are very well. And as for calling them traitors, defectors, and so on, this was President Putin's first reaction on Saturday morning. Although I think that over time, it hasn't changed. The assessment might not have changed, but the assessment has become much softer. And it's one thing to speak out to the world, but it's another thing to say what you have inside, what you feel inside. And there might be a bit of difference.
Thank you very much. If there is ever an opportunity to speak both with you and Mr. Prigozhin, we would be extremely interested. Thank you.
You can pass on to Prigozhin that this lady, Diana, wants to meet him. We will pass him definitely this information. He will be much eager to meet with the lady. No, we will pass the message, yes. We will pass the message.